Good morning and welcome back to the Higher Grounds Podcast Morning Minute Meditation. This is Pastor Josh Montgomery of the Safe Harbor Baptist Church in Salisbury, North Carolina. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm interested in Acts chapter number 8 this morning. And the first few verses tells us that Saul, who was also, we know later, become the Apostle Paul, this is before his conversion. He was consenting unto his death on Mount Stephen. And at that time there was great persecution against the church, which was at Jerusalem. And verse number 3, the Bible said, "As for Saul, he made havoc of the church, entering into every house and hailing men and women, committed them to prison." So we learn from these verses that Paul is persecuting the church. We all know the stories. In Acts 9, he's got letters to go to Damascus to do this. Paul is not doing God's work. In fact, he's doing the devil's work. But there's an interesting little phrase in Acts 8 that is actually indicating that while Saul is doing the devil's work, he's actually accomplishing something for God. Look at the text again, Acts 3:8. "As for Saul, he made havoc of the church, entering into every house and hailing men and women, committed them to prison." Verse 4, "Therefore, in light of what Saul was doing in verse 3, they that were scattered abroad went everywhere preaching the word." So ain't that interesting? The apostle, the man we will know as the Apostle Paul, who will preach the Word of God, and millions will be touched by his message even after his death. But before he gets saved, God is still using him to get the Word of God out. His persecution and the havoc that he wreaked on the church and the entering into every house, all the things that the Apostle Paul did when he was Saul, when he was lost, God used it to get the Word out. Here's the application today. Sometimes God will use bad things in our life that the Word of God might touch somebody else's life and they might be saved by the grace of God. From the Higher Grounds Podcast family, you have a great day. God bless you.